that ridge that they're talking about is right there. This would be going over on the west side of Lake Fork. Uh, this would be coming into the first cove that's just north of 515 West. You'll also notice on 515 West, have to do this. There's the bridge, the submerged bridge, and there's the blowout, just like on the east side. They did both bridges identical. That used to be the only way we could get across there at one time.
Boy.
Okay. We've got a lot to cover here. First of all, the area that we're talking about is known as White Oak and the cove right before 515. This cove right here has, it's built in a cliff, a canyon or something. We always called this Jones Cove. There is a great underwater point that has timber on it that is real good to fish late at night. Now, I'm talking about more like past midnight. Fishing this point right here, because see, it has this, where this point is, it also has this creek that comes in here and makes these unique turns to where it has opportunities for fish to come out of these creek bends. Has a lot of cedar trees on these humps too. Here is noted about the high banks and all that. I have fished all of this all the way back during the spawn. I have done better at night fishing on this point than any other time, but you almost have to like fish every cove every week you go to use some of this as a comparison. But where I want to get into is White Oak. First of all, when I used to fish White Oak, we couldn't really get further than where the road crosses White Oak. And there used to be a persimmon patch down here that we used to always catch fish off of. This gives you an idea. This is the actual road that crosses. What we're doing is we're looking west to east. This is north, this is south. Let's see here. This is taken at 375, so it's going to have 28 foot of water on top of this. The bridge itself that crossed White Oak was wooden planks. They're no longer there. And some of the neat stuff that is obvious to a guy that really gets caught up in this picture is not only do we have the road that has White Oak Creek coming in here, but you have these little humps, these little indentions of water as it was working its way into. So you've got right off the side of the roadbed that's lined with trees, a ditch, and the creek itself, you've got these little subdue humps that are right out there. It doesn't take much to hold a fish. Just a small change in the terrain will do that.
But most people don't realize that that hump is down there 28 feet deep.
Right.
That's
where this map comes to play. Right here would be an aerial picture of Lake Fork, White Oak area. This is actually the road that we just showed you that was going to have 28 foot of water on it. This is without any water. This is where the creek crosses the road. These are some of those subdue humps that we were talking about there. And then this right here is an old home place. And this right here is a hump that you will see on the map. Pay attention to this one. Let's go back to the map. And that is That is this hump right here that we're talking about. Well, one area that is pretty neat is this area right here. It's coming off where that road is, and there's another road that joins it right here, and it has a little contour break that comes right up next to it. I have found that when the fish are really on spawning, this is a real neat place to fish for spawning fish. There's some good clean water in there. It's also rumored that one of the fish that was caught over 16 pounds was caught right there. I didn't see it, I don't know that.
It's a good area for it.
But if we go up past the road and we keep going into what they call the East Bend Creek, I gotta have your attention now. This is so unique. I'm going to try to zoom in on this. You have a classic point that has a creek bend real close to it. It literally rubs out. There's heavy timber from here back. It almost makes a timber line that goes north and south on this thing. First of all, if you remember me talking about red clay banks, this is one of them. And I guess it goes along with this producing as many fish as it does. But come September, Labor Day, if you will go over here at 4:30 in the afternoon, the sun angle is just right that if you will concentrate on throwing a 6-inch Tequila Sunrise worm right into the timberline that runs north and south, and working this little area where the 13-foot is marker, I promise you, you'll catch so many fish. At 4:30 in the afternoon, starting Labor Day weekend, the angle of the sun puts it just right that a Tequila Sunrise will work in your favor on that tree line. And that pattern's pretty good for quite a few weeks. Do not overlook this. Do not overlook this. But once you get past the tree line, I have fished all of this. This is so thick with a combination of hardwood trees and cedar trees. If you'll stay on this creek and start throwing into this area right in here, you will get bit. Not real big fish, but you will get bit. I want to go up to this middle section. I've got to bring up the very back first. This is the very back. This spot right here, I just want to show it to everybody. This is it. Let's not forget this. This is in the back of the middle branch of white oak. Starting around March 5th, March 7th, go back here and you just start right in here and you fish. This has got cedar trees, timber in there, heavy timber. It's real thick. It's got a lot of vegetation back here. You got where the creek splits. This side gets pressured a lot because of this creek bend and this underwater point. But if you will throw a chartreuse and white tandem blades, half-ounce spinnerbait starting around March the 5th and work this area right here, right in there, I know personally a fish of 8.5 pounds coming out of there. Start your morning off there the first week in March with the spinnerbait. And this is great. This is great. You can spend all day in any creek you want to pick out to go, but this is coming in a pre-spawn situation where the fish are feeding real heavy before they go to the beds. that little back of white oak is probably as good as it gets when they're on. Water temperatures, water clarities mean a lot to when they're on.